Alright guys, Cfmoto, this is the Clx 700 Heritage. This is my first time on this motorcycle, so let's see how good it is. Riding position is not too bad. The seat's a little hard on it, but the riding position is pretty good. It's pretty nimble. She's definitely nimble. She wants to be just about anywhere you want her in the lane. Good tires. Feel the grip on this thing. We're gonna go get it on the highway, then we're gonna get off the highway, do a little bit of neighborhood riding, you know, stuff like that. You know, just see what she'll do. See if it's any, you know, see if this thing's any good. If it's good, I might purchase it. The price seems right on it, and I'm looking for a commuter bike, so this guy right here is a dumbass, or this chick's a dumbass. Parking in the lane that she shouldn't be in. Gotta love it when people do that. But yeah, you know, Cfmoto. So I've got a C4 600 ATV, and I've been pretty impressed with it. The build quality's been good. So you know what? I decided, you know, I was thinking about spending $20,000 on a BMW as my commuter, but then I was looking at these, and I'm like, man, the cost of this thing is so. You know, it's so affordable. Okay, it's affordable. So I don't know. I wanted to see what it was about, and, you know, if it was worth the hype or not. I saw some people online talking about this thing, and you know, they seem to like it. So I'm gonna see if I like it. That's all I can say about it. Is it looks pretty good. It's a very attractive motorcycle. It seems like the power is adequate for around town riding, but let's see if you know, how she does on the highway. All right, not too bad. Go ahead and shut that a little bit. Unfortunately, you know, we are following a car to get on the highway. All right, acceleration's not bad. Not bad at all. I wasn't really hammering into the throttle too much on it. It actually pulled pretty good. Got a weird sound from the exhaust, but honestly, I mean, doing 60 miles an hour in 6th gear, not bad. Let's go ahead and flip cruise control on. We'll get her up to 65, and we'll hit set. See what happens, I guess. So that didn't work. Go ahead and get out of the way, because this guy's not going to yield. So we hold it, and click resume. The button's a little hard to hit. Well, I don't know. I can't seem to get the cruise control to work on it. It's on for sure. Button doesn't have that great of a feel to it. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or not, but like, it doesn't seem to want to actually like set the cruise to 66 miles per hour. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I got it. I figured it out. She's maintaining now 65 mile an hour cruise. Go ahead and show you guys. No hands. That's actually pretty nice for a bike that's value oriented to be able to have cruise control on it. And let's see if I can get the lean. Yeah, we can ride it without hands, guys. That's pretty cool. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That's pretty good. Seating position is really good. The bars are really spaced apart on this model. I'm liking it so far. It's pretty comfortable riding position. Levers feel good. Mirrors are usable. Not the best mirrors out there, but they're not too vibey. Engine's honestly not too vibey at this RPM. Yeah, it's not bad. You can cruise around on this thing. The seat is a little bit hard, but I think it just needs to kind of be broken in. It's brand new. The bike doesn't really have that many miles on it, so we're gonna go ahead and hop off the highway here. As soon as you tap the front brake, immediately cuts to cruise control, which is good. Solid engine braking. Shifts are nice and smooth. Engine braking is decent for this size engine. It handles really well. The levers feel really good on it. The grips feel pretty good. So far I'm not putting too much pressure on my palms. I mean, the controls are pretty simple. I mean, the gauge cluster is easy enough to read. I can see my RPM range. I can see my fuel, miles per hour, gear indicator. I mean, clutch is very engaging. Right off, you know, right as you come up about halfway of, you know, it just grabs and goes. The motor's got plenty on the bottom to pull itself just right out of the hole, which is nice. I hate whenever you got to rev something up a little bit to get it to take off. In sport mode, she's a little herky-jerky. Her throttle is really, really, really responsive. But, you know, we're not going to ride it in eco mode. We're going to get a precise, you know, picture of how this thing is going to perform. It is really, really comfortable, and you know, I can't say enough about like the seating position and the comfortability of the bike. I mean, this is definitely a bike you could cruise around on all day and feel pretty good, I think. And man, is it a handling monster. I mean, it absolutely just wants to go anywhere in the lane. It's very, 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 you know, well, I don't want to say well sprung, but the suspension is tight, and it, you know, it's allowing this thing to kind of just do whatever it wants. I like the indicators. Let me know that I need to be in a higher gear to use cruise control. You know, that was pretty quick to figure out. I didn't know that, but, and not bad. Fourth gear, do a little roll on here, you know, middle of the range RPMs. Not the fastest thing in the world, but it's got plenty of, you know, get up and go power. You know, you're going to be able to get in and out of traffic with it, even on the highway. I'm pretty impressed with that. 70 mile an hour, it's cruising. It's not working her too hard. The gearing's kind of short on the bike, which I kind of like. Not the best for long highway stints, but I mean, for around town riding, it's got the right kind of gearing. It's not too tall. That means it's a little forgiving whenever you're in the wrong gear. You can still accelerate and kind of maneuver the way you'd want to, or the way you'd expect the bike to. I mean, I'm at 70 miles an hour. I'm just over 4,000 RPMs. I would like to see a TFT display on this bike, but, you know, it is what it is. 70 mile an hour though, she's pretty comfortable. My legs aren't in a bad riding position. Pretty good. I've got plenty of room to move around on the seat, and I'm 6'3". I mean, I'm a big guy, and you know, no issues here. No one behind us. We'll see how well she just tracks across the highway. Yeah, pretty effortless. Pretty effortless. Nice pace from the bike. Not having to apply a lot of throttle input. It's fairly windy today, and it's staying right where you want it to in the lane. It's not being beat up at all. The wind isn't affecting it at all. Harley Lighter wouldn't give me the wave, man. He's like, you're on that Chinese trash, bro. Got a TRX right here. What's up, TRX? Yeah, that's not bad. 6th gear. Roll-on power is a little lackluster at 6. But once you get her revved up, she starts pulling pretty good. I mean, for the numbers that this bike's at, you know, right at the horsepower and the torque that it makes, I think this bike makes just almost 70 horsepower and then around 50 foot-pounds of torque. So, yeah, I mean, it has decent power for those numbers. I mean, the power-to-weight ratio is good. The shifts are all really smooth on it. I like the downshift feature of it. It's nice and grunty sound from the motor. It's not too vibey. It's got just enough vibration to let you know you're doing what you're doing. I haven't tested out the brakes yet, but we'll try them here in a second. See how good they are. The bike's got a good feel to it. Acceleration's pretty good for what it is. It's not the fastest thing on the road, of course, but you know, we're not expecting that out of the motorcycle either. Third gear, just over, you know, right at about 4,000 RPMs. It's pretty happy and riding around town at the speed I'm at. Let's go ahead and shift into fourth, see how she is. She's lugging a little bit, just over 3,000 RPMs, but I mean, nothing to ride home about kind of power, that's for sure. Nothing to ride home about. Let's test these anti-locks. She'll stop. I could have lifted the rear wheel into the air right there if I wanted to. I had to let off a little bit just so I didn't. I like the feel of the bike whenever it takes off. Shifts are good. She wakes up pretty good around 5,000 RPM. She's got decent power. It's nothing to ride home about, but you know, it's got plenty as far as, you know, riding around town goes. She turns in nice. Feel that slipper clutch going into first right there, just kind of letting the RPMs and the tire even out. That's not bad. She's a little herky-jerky in first gear. I probably spend a lot of my riding around in second. Suspension's pretty firm on it. You can feel the bumps, but she's soaking them up pretty good. You just feel them a little bit more than I would expect from this type of motorcycle, but nothing too crazy. I mean, handlings are really great though. Seating positions were pretty good. I mean, I know I keep saying that, but you know, I expected the seating position to be worse. It's not. It's pretty good. You know, for this style body, like retro look of a bike, I mean, it's pretty comfortable. The suspension is a little, let's hit this bump and see how it does. Did pretty well. Good little bump in the road. Absorbed my weight really well. I'm a pretty heavy guy and suspension took it just fine. I think I would soften the suspension up just a hair on it, but I think it would need this capability if you were going to push this thing through some tight turns. It's got a nice grunty sound to the engine. I like it. Hear the engine just thumping along. You can tell it's a twin. Takes it a second to get going, but once it gets going, it goes. Take it right through the park here and see if we can't get some twisties in it. You know, a little bit of tight turns. See how well it handles. Got some nice little low speed turns over here that I can give you guys my input on. See how well she rides around in some loose gravel. It's kind of got like an aggressive style tire on it, you know, so that you could actually come out here and, you know, you could honestly take this tire off road, I think. Some loose gravel right here. Not really getting any slippage out of her. She turns in nice and tight every single time. Can we lock up the brakes on the gravel? Nope, the ABS did well. I mean, she's nimble. She's definitely nimble. I don't want to go too crazy because we are in a park, but you know, I did want to get a feel for how the suspension handles these little bumps, how the tires do in the gravel. She's very nimble. You can definitely put this thing wherever you want in a lane, not have any problems with it. Vibing up in first gear a little bit here. Nice grunt to the engine as it comes to a stop. Nice little thump, 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 thump. Not bad at all. She definitely passes the handling test. I'm pretty impressed so far with the little Cfmoto. It's not the most amazing bike. I just ran a stop sign, son of a bitch. It's not the most amazing bike I've ever ridden. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's honestly, if I had to give the greatest bike I've ever ridden a 10, and I had to give the worst bike I've ever ridden a 1, this is definitely a 5 or a 6. It's not incredibly impressive by any means for what it is. It definitely doesn't have the grunt of my FZ09. The FZ09 just had smiles, you know. Yeah, oh my God, you just hit that thing and it goes. But it's not bad. Not for what it is. Not for a little commuter bike, you know. Feels pretty good, pretty solid. Gets up to speed nice. Good engine braking. Got decent roll-on power in 3rd gear. Cruising around town speeds. Decelerates on its own really well. Don't even need to use the brakes. This thing's got cool factor too as well. I gotta be honest with you, with the value price point that it comes in at, as sexy as it looks, because it is a sexy looking bike, the performance that you get from it, because you do get some decent performance out of this thing. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, for what it is, I mean, it's right there with an MT, you know, MT-07, you know, kind of performance. That's what it feels like to me. It's got plenty of grunt to get you around town. It's nothing to write home about, but, you know, it feels just like an MT-07 to me. Actually, probably handles a little bit better than an MT-07, in my opinion. I mean, that's weird to say, because I love Yamahas, and I bleed on that. And I'll die on that Yamaha flag, but... Not bad. Not bad at all. I don't think I'll be pulling any wheelies on this motorcycle. Gonna ahead and pull over for the fire truck. Brakes are really good. I wish it had just a little more grunt. But once you start to get in and wake it up, it's not too bad. I mean, it's actually not too bad once you get in it. You just got to get in there a little bit to get her to move. You got to get the RPMs up on it a little bit. You know, you kind of got to get into that mid-range. Looks like the RPM red line is about 8,000 on this bike. I mean, it definitely accelerates. I mean, it definitely got a little bit of pull to it. It's not a lot of pull, but it's got enough. And I mean, it's comfortable enough that you could ride this thing around all day, and I think you'd be happy with it. I mean, you could definitely put miles on this thing and not hate it. I wouldn't. I would ride it. I'm not impressed by any means by the Cfmoto. I mean, I'm not. It's hard to be impressed when you've ridden, you know, just about everything underneath the sun, if I'm being honest with you. It's really hard to be impressed by anything anymore. I probably need to get this thing back. I've been out on it for a while now, so let me, I don't know what this guy's doing. He's just kind of stopping here. Nice, easy, smooth turn there. I mean, it handles excellent. It's a really good bike when it comes to handling. I wish it had just a little more on the bottom, man. Once you get her woke up, though, into 3rd gear, it's really not bad. Let's see what well, I guess, you know, I don't really want to use eco mode, but fuck it. Let's see what the differences are in eco. Oh, she is a tame girl in eco mode. She is not going anything crazy. She is not going to do anything crazy. There's definitely a bit more punch in the on the bike when it comes to you know, the bottom end and everything whenever you're in sport mode. You should ride it in sport mode if you're going to ride it. I would ride it in sport mode. Alright, nice little no foot stop on red there. Coming back up to Matt's ATV and Off-Road, I just want to give a shout out to them. Thank you for letting me ride your bike. It's a pretty cool little machine. might try out some other ones here. But yeah, man, Clx 700. If you're looking for a commuter bike and you want that intermediate level of power, I mean, you can't go wrong here. I mean, this isn't bad at all. It's a nice little machine. I am really impressed with it at the price point it comes in at. I mean, this is a value machine, and I don't really see how you could go wrong with it, to be honest with you. I mean, it's definitely, I approve. I approve of the little machine.
Well, I mean, like as far as performance aspect.